What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Burn Down. Today's episode, we brought on somebody that you all know on Instagram as Cigar Lover 12.
And if you don't know her, you ought to know her. So stay tuned because it's The Burn Down and it's going to be a good one. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Burn Down. As you all know, I'm Eric, that's Justin, and today we have someone who's very special. We all know her on the gram. Let's all introduce Cigar Lover 12, a.k.a. Miss Ibis.
Hi, guys.
Hello. We're super
Hello.
jealous that you are in warm Miami, and I'm here in a jacket in New York, and Justin has his little studio production with the burn down with the heater on.
Yeah, it is a beautiful day and it's really hot, like around 90 degrees.
Jealous, super jealous. It's
You make a lot of big decisions
40
in that
degrees
chair.
here.
That looks like a very a decision-making chair that you're sitting in. It's very elegant and fancy looking.
I was like, okay, this is special. I have to look nice. So yeah.
Well, we
You know what we
appreciate
call that, Eric? We call that a hashtag boss lady chair.
that.
Yeah, actually it is. It is. The only person allowed to sit here is me. So yeah.
I mean, and you're smoking a cigar too. So I mean, you couldn't even look any more boss without being right there. So anyway.
Actually, I'm really excited about this one. Really, I mean, I was like, okay, I should find something special. So I don't know if you had it before. This is the Plasencia 1898. It's only found in Europe, but it's some store may have it here. So it's I don't know if you had it before.
Yes. I've smoked the it's more like a Robusto size, but it was good. They're good.
Yeah.
I smoked one on the podcast actually too. But we know you love Plasencia, so I said let's round up some Plasencias and let's get them for Cigar Lover. So Justin, what do you got there?
So I'm smoking. I think this is one of Ibis's favorites. Is the Plasencia Alma Fuerte.
Oh wow, that's the Salomon. Beautiful.
Yeah,
that's a great cigar.
I had to go with this one. I saw it in my humidor, and I said, you know what? Actually, Eric goes, I'm smoking Plasencia. Ibis loves Plasencia. I was like, all right, I'm smoking this one. This was sitting in there, but I had to smoke it.
And I only knew that because we were on that Zoom conference like last week or so, and you said your favorite was Plasencia, and I think bourbon. So we got some background information on you. If we couldn't tell from
wow.
we stalked your IG a little bit. That's all.
No, I'm glad you guys are going fancy.
And then,
I mean, the Salomon, that one I think that one has been aged for 10 years. This one's only 5. I mean, still amazing, but you're going all the way.
This one I have
is a special interview. We got to.
It's a Plasencia. What do you want to call this?
Was the Cosecha 146?
Privada. So
yeah,
she knows already.
Nice.
See, she knows her Plasencias.
I think this is tobacco from 2011, 2012, if I'm not mistaken, when I read up on it. So it should be a good cigar. Then
Ibis, what are you drinking? Are you drinking bourbon?
Well, actually, I'm having tea. That is one of my favorite choice to pair with cigar. I drink a lot of tea, like 5 cups a day.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I don't do coffee.
I hope it's non-caffeinated.
So... No, it's not. No, it's not. It is chamomile. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a break from whiskey. So I wanted to share a little bit of, it's just, I think if you haven't tried, I know there's a lot of people, they don't like tea, but it's one of those perfect pairing that you never kind of expect to be that great. But it is nice. It's always give you that sweetness sometimes when the cigar is really bitter. So the tea make it, more it's just carries in your palate. It is nice.
I like that. I like tea, but I've never tried cigars and tea, so it might have to be a new thing we try. Might have to do on the podcast for an episode.
Yeah, I've never tried it either. I've heard that tea and even some white wine people have paired with it that I've never tried, but that sounds interesting. But today we are not staying away from whiskey. I'm drinking some Woodford Reserve.
Nice. Okay.
And then I don't know if we ever have this. This is Clyde Mays Alabama style whiskey. This is some good.
Love that.
I'm almost getting low.
Love that.
I mean,
so before we start the whole interview, we like to, I don't know if you're lit up already, but we certainly aren't, but we want to cheers to you. Thank you for coming on.
Cheers,
Thank you for
guys.
taking the time.
Please. Thank you for inviting me. Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
Before we light up, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
So we're not quiet while we light up, but we all know you from, social media, Instagram. You are, I would say, one of the more larger influencers in the cigar community. So our question is, being that you're so influential in the community, what's it like being a female influencer in a very male-dominated industry?
I don't see it like, okay, I'm a female and this is like, I had never had that issue. Since I was little, I always played with the guys. I used to work with a bunch of guys. I was the only girl. So I don't see like this is just like, like the men industry or just, for guys. And I would never forget one guy say like, oh my God, you're like an old man. You smoke cigar and whiskey. I'm like, well, I mean, I'm just having fun before. People usually do that when they, when they retire. So I'm just doing it before. But I don't see it like, it is not even hard. I don't even look like, I'm just a girl having a cigar. When I go to a cigar lounge and I go to the bar, it's just, I don't see, if they look at me weird, if I make anyone to feel uncomfortable, I don't really care. It's just like, I just enjoy it. This is my passion. It's not like, oh, it's just for guys, just for girls. It's just, I enjoy it. It's the whole point is just to have a good time. I never see like, oh, guys think that I don't know about cigar. It's not about that. It's just about to enjoy it. And this is a piece of art. This is just beautiful. It's just so much history, so much like behind a simple cigar. It could be $5, it could be $20. It's just the history behind this is more than what people are thinking about you. I don't really see it like, it's just what people think about you. I don't see it like that. So it's just
it goes, perception.
It works for me.
It shouldn't be like that. I mean, today's day and age, it should definitely not be like that. So it's good that that's your perspective. I know when our first interview on the podcast was Leo from Nova Cigar, and we asked her a similar question saying, you are a cigar owner, what's it like? And she's like, I just like all the guys looking at me like, wow, you know cigars? Wow. They're like, they're like not used to it. And she just likes being able to be, she says, more knowledgeable, and being that she's like, yeah, I can be one of the guys too. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. It's just a cigar. And we're just here to enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, I feel like this is like the same with whiskey, bring people together. It's not about gender, race, or age. It's not about that. It's just to have a good time, and it's not about, you don't know about cigar. I don't see it like that.
I say that all the time.
And I like the fact that you mentioned it's a work of art, because it's funny, whenever I send cigars, they always ask, especially if you send them overseas and you have to fill in the customs form and they ask what's inside of it, I always just write handcrafted works of art.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, nobody's going to think that that's cigars. I know it's cigars and it's cigars, because we treat these as works of art. And I think that's a great way to put it, because it truly is a work of art. Somebody's just taking a plant that was God-given, grown on this earth, and they're blending different plants together to create an amazing, unique flavor profile that can change year over year depending on the climate.
Right.
And it's really like a chef in the kitchen. You're mixing up different leaves, you're mixing up different flavors, you're adding this, removing that, and it truly is a work of art, and it requires an artist's touch to really perfect it.
Yeah, it's so many people behind a cigar. I would say more than 300. And it's just when you have to see it too, you know, sometimes you read it in the book, but if you don't see it, it's like kind of hard to believe.
Wow.
It is beautiful. It's just everything behind a cigar. Like I said, I think it brings people together. It's not about you don't know the way you light it up, you're doing it wrong. I don't, you know, it's just, I think a lot of thing about cigars is just preference, you know. It's not about, oh, you cut a run. Oh, you lighting the cigar the wrong way. It's not about that. It's just like, if you light it the wrong way and you still like it, enjoy it. It's about having a good time. It's not about judging, oh, you don't know how to light up a cigar. You're doing a run, or that is such a cheap cigar where, you know, it's just not about that. Yeah, it's just, I feel like this is like, it's just this is like for me meditation, you know. I don't like to think, you know, like it is something else. It's all about, you know, like enjoy it.
We need less people like that. The people that are making judgments on how to light a cigar, or, you know, X, Y, and Z. Those are the people we don't want. So if you like that, get out of here.
No, it's interesting that you mentioned meditation, because I know Eric and I have talked about this before on the Burn Down, and it really is a form of meditation. Like it's almost a form of therapy as well. Like you can sit by yourself, pull out, like you said, it could be a $5, $20, $200 cigar, whatever it is, and sit by yourself, meditate, recharge your batteries, relax, and get a nice form of therapy because, you know, you're blocking everything out. You're just focusing on the cigar. So I like that we're all on the same page. I feel like we all have the same mindset when it comes to cigars.
Yeah, it should be worrisome when people don't have that same thought process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would be a little weird if someone was like, nah, I don't feel that way. You'd be like, hang out with you.
Hashtag the awkward moment.
Exactly. But
it is true. I mean, I think like cigar really changed your mood. It's a bunch of books that always people like say like, oh, after I have a cigar, I feel better. You know, it's just, it really works to people when they're really stressed out, give you that kind of like, we say meditation. So it really works for me.
It is.
Absolutely. So you had mentioned that if you haven't been to actually see how many hands go into making just a single cigar, you can read about it in books, but until you actually go and see it, see the farms, see the leaves being grown, see them being fermented, aged, that whole process, it doesn't really do it justice. So actually you had posted something that you recently got back from a farm somewhere. You posted pictures, posted to your story. Where did you actually go and how was that?
Well, I've been to Dominican in Santiago. So the Cibao is where, you know, everyone is, the big guys in La Flor Dominicana, Tabacalera Palma, everyone is in Santiago, the Dominican tobacco. So then I've been to Nicaragua and Honduras. So the last in December was in Nicaragua and Honduras. I mean, it was just like, wow. I don't even have words to describe how amazing it's just to see it. Like I said, you know, I have read it, you know, I have been to Dominican before. It's just when I was in Honduras, in Hamastran, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, wow. It is incredible how they take her from the seed, every details they have, every guy, every person who touched that leaf. It's just the way they do it. I went to the Plasencia. It's just impressive what these people are doing. Everything is literally organic. The whole process, they take care of every leaf. So it's just, when, you know, it's like I'm saying, like, if you read about it, I can mention it, but if you're not there to see it, you don't believe it. It is just incredible. What they're doing is just, I don't know, like I say, I don't know how to put it into words. You have to see it, you have to go, but it's incredible. And then the factories, you know, the whole process is like, wow. It's seriously a person just, they didn't even put music to the leaf, to the fermentation, they have music. But it's like classic music. It's just, you know, I don't know if you guys heard about, you know, people, they put music to the animals so they relax and all that. I don't know if you heard about that before. Okay, so they.
My dogs.
So I'm not gonna say like they talk to the plants, but they give so much love. They have some flowers in the tobacco field. So the insect, they don't go to the tobacco plant, they go to the sunflower. So it's just a bunch of details that you have no idea. You know, it's like when you see it, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
It really
So yeah,
shows
the
you
whole
how
process
much
is just
people
incredible.
care for the product. You know, it shows you how much they care about their passion, which is growing tobacco and creating a work of art.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of passion, obviously you can just tell from talking to you how passionate, how you are about cigars. And if people don't follow you on social media, they should, because they can see your passion as well. And we probably should have asked you this in the beginning, but what drove you to this passion of cigars? Like, how did you come to being so infused with cigars? How you are today.
I think it's in my DNA. This is funny because I didn't know that my grandmother, she used to smoke cigar. So I didn't, met her before. But my aunt from my mom's older sister, she smoked cigars. So since I was little, I was like, oh my God, I love the smell. So I was really like, wow, that smells so good. And my mom, she don't smoke. My dad, they don't smoke. So I was like, oh my God, what is that? So one day I was 7 and I don't know why she walked away from the cigar. I'm like, this is my moment. So I grabbed the cigar with the matches, trying to light it up, and my mom caught me. I was in timeout for a few months.
Wow.
So
few months. Wow.
Yeah, for a few months. My mom, she don't like smoke. I was 7. Yeah.
Well, we interviewed the cigar boss man, Sean, and his first time having a cigar, he said he was like 10. So I think you beat him now by being the age of 7. Cheers to that.
Wow.
No, my mom doesn't like that memory, but well. So yeah, after that, I always been like, oh my God, I love cigar, just the smell, right? So when I was like 17, and during Christmas, I have a Romeo and Juliet. That was my first cigar. It was a Cuban Romeo and Juliet. Nice. So I was like, wow, this is good. I mean, like, I don't even know how, like, inhale. I don't smoke cigarette. So it's like, really, like, enjoy. I was like, it's just amazing, So after that, I was buying cigar once in a while, like special occasions, like Christmas, birthday and all that. And then, I don't know, I started, finding more information and reading and getting to know people that they smoke daily. So I've been smoking for almost, I think 8 years already, like daily. So I haven't stopped because of the smell.
It does. It has a very pleasing, and it's hard. I guess I would call it a classy smell to it, right? We've always talked about the difference, the smells between cigarettes and shit cigars, for lack of a better term, and then versus premium quality tobacco cigars. And you can certainly tell the difference. There's just a classiness and elegance to the smell of cigar aroma versus the trashiness to, I don't want to like put anybody down that smokes cigarettes. I'm just talking about the smell, to me, in my opinion.
I agree 100%. For me, cigars are disgusting. I mean, like, that's my opinion. It's just the smell. I can take it.
So you had mentioned that one of your first cigars, not the 7-year-old cigar that you tried to match and got in trouble and put time out for months. But your first cigar that you enjoyed was a Romeo and Juliet Cuban.
Right.
Over the 8 years that you've been smoking every single day, what are some cigars that have become staples in your humidor that you have to have in your humidor at all times? What cigar, what brands would you recommend to everybody?
Well, actually, when I started, I was more like Fuerte and Davidoff. I was like only like mild to medium, the Davidoff, the 2000, the Grand Reserve. I love Eiroa. Eiroa make amazing cigar. The Avo, the Ritmo.
I love that. Like,
oh my God. I had like 2 boxes in my humidor. I finished it like in less than a month. So it's like having.
Wow. That's
It's a great cigar though. I mean, there's seven different South American countries that come together in one cigar. The flavor profile is just so unique and so complex.
Amazing. I'm glad you mentioned that because I was thinking like, I know it's a lot of just Cuban cigar guys, I smoke everything. So it's just when people ask me like, oh, why you prefer Dominican or Nicaraguan or Honduran tobacco? It's just for me, Cuban. Maybe it's just me. Cuban for me is just one, they don't change. It's like this, flavor profile is this way. When you smoke a Nicaraguan, Dominican, and Honduran, it has so much flavor. It's like in the middle, it's like, this is getting better or worse. I don't know. It could be, it's just changed. It completely changed the flavor. And then with the Cuban, for me, it's always like, they kind of all taste the same.
I would agree. I would agree to that because I don't smoke that many Cubans, but
right.
We talked about it many times, but I've always felt like Cuban cigars are always kind of just consistent. Like they're good, but there's no up and down. There's no like, oh, this one's a lot spicier, or this one's a little more mild. It's kind of just very consistent. And then when, like you said, when you have like a Nicaraguan, it's like, whoa, this has got some kick to it. Like, I don't know if I can smoke this one for a whole day.
Right. It's the same. I mean, I compare like Cuban cigar with bourbon and Scotch. I started with bourbon and way back, like, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, like doing old fashioned, like just basic bourbon. I didn't know. I was just, trying to find, okay, let me find out how to make an old fashioned. So then I started with Scotch, thanks to Eric, Scotch and Time. And Nicholas, he works for Arrington. So I'm like, shoot, I mean, like, gosh, they have like the flavor profile is incredible. It's like having a Nicaraguan or Honduran Dominican tobacco. It's just the nose when you go like this is like wow, like it has so much to offer. And then bourbon, I love bourbon, but I found it more like, okay, you know where you get it. It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be more, like spice, a little bit pepper. And it's not even that. It's just I feel like when you try Scotch, it has so much to offer, But it's just preference. It's not like, I don't know. I when people say I only smoke Cuban, I'm like, okay, good for you. But it's you should try something else.
Yeah, I feel like with Cubans too, it's almost like there's, like you said, it's very consistent. There's a lot of Cubans that are just going to taste the same here, and then there's only a few that I can think of that I've had that really stand out, right? Out of all of the Cubans, there's only a few that come to mind that really stand out. Whereas all the other countries, Nicaraguan, Honduras, Ecuador, all these different other countries, there's a lot of in the middle. There's ones that are on the bottom that don't really taste very well, but then there's some that are on the top, and then there's a lot in the middle. So I like the diversity with all the other countries, whereas in Cuba, I only find that there's a handful that are going to be top-notch, really good cigars.
Yeah,
right.
I the same way. I like, Justin and I always say, I'm not sure how you feel, but we don't really like to buy boxes of cigars. We like to have a variety of cigars. I like to have my humidor stocked with a million different types of cigars because every single one is different. I don't want to buy a box of, Plasencias and have 20 of them because after the first couple of them, I'm going to know what it's going to taste like. I like having all different kinds of cigars because that's just how I am. I like variety. I like having being able to choose which one I want for the day. So that's just.
And it's also where I don't want to go ahead and buy a whole box, especially if I'm trying the cigar for the first time, because and it happens with Cubans. A lot of distributors just sell boxes of Cubans.
Yeah, quality control.
Yeah, so they just sell boxes, and I find it hard to buy singles of Cubans online, at least, because we can't really go in our stores. I mean, you know how it is in the United States. You can't go into a store and buy a Cuban. You have to buy them online. And most of the distributors will sell them in full boxes. So if I've never tried the cigar before, I don't want to commit to buying a whole box, risking the fact that if I smoke one I don't like it, now I have 19 to 30 other sticks that I'm not going to enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have the variety, buy two of these, two of those, two of those, two of those, try them all, and then when I find that I like one, okay, I'll go and buy a box of it.
So going off of that.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. It's just a few cigar that I would get to box, but I'm like you guys. I prefer to have like, okay, if I like something, I'll get like 5. You know, I don't go crazy like 20.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many choices that I don't want to, you know, why you're gonna just commit to one, right?
Yeah, 5-packs are good. 5-packs are really, that's like the perfect.
So your recommendation is like cigar makers should start making boxes of 5.
Yeah, 5-packs.
Talk about quality control. You can make more boxes, send more out, more people.
Okay, that sounds good.
But so continuing off, you know, your passion and, you know, how you are with cigars and how it's been around your whole life, you know, what influenced you or what inspired you to kind of create your cigar lover brand that it is today? Like, when did you think about, oh, you know, I'm going to make an Instagram page and I'm just going to talk about cigars? Like, how did that come to, what's the word? Fruition? Is that the right word?
Fruition?
Fruition? That's the big word to use, fruition?
Hashtag fruition.
Hashtag
fruition.
Well, actually, it was just my cigar friends. They were like, listen, we have different, you know, like kind of same palette. Why you don't open it an Instagram account and start posting whatever you're smoking? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like, it's just a lot of time. I smoke daily that I don't post it. It's just my me time. I don't want to share every time what I'm smoking, you know. It's the same with whiskey, and even people that they don't know that I drink tea so many times a day. Why I should share that? That's my me time, right?
I would never.
So so yeah, so my friend were like, oh my god, let's do that. I'm like, okay, I don't even know what, I mean, name. I'm like, okay, cigars. I was like, just cigar what? And then cigar lover. And yeah, I'm a cigar lover. A friend of mine who gave me the idea. So I'm like, okay, cigar lover sounds cool. And yeah, it's just static like that, just to start posting picture and see, oh, I tried that one. No, don't try that. You know, like trying to recommend cigar to my friends. And it's just, honestly, for me, cigar lover is my baby. It's just a hobby that I don't go crazy. It's just I post when I feel like I want to. I disappear for a few weeks, you know. I take my time off, and it's just I don't know. And people say like, oh, how you grow so fast. I mean, it's just because I don't really put that intention. That is just, it's just my time to share what I love. You know, it's not about making money. It's not about being famous. I don't need that. You know, I'm famous for my mom, so that's what matters. So it's not. I don't. It's not about that. It's just. I like to share what I love.
Yeah.
So where'd the number 12 come from?
I always get that question, and the funny part is just like, I like the number. It doesn't have any meaning. It's just, you know, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. It's just actually my personal Instagram is, I'm not going to say which one. It is personal. I have a 12 too. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do a cigar, let's put the 12 too. It's kind of my lucky number.
Like, everybody obviously knows you, Cigar Lover 12. They know your passion for cigars, your passion for bourbon and scotch. What are some other things that you enjoy doing that people may not know about you? Like, what are some of your other hobbies?
Well, I read a lot. I have more books than cigars.
Wow.
But also something else that I don't share that much. Once in a while, I may post like, hey, you should read this book. But it's just like, I have my nerd side. So yeah, I read a lot. What else?
There's so much, you just can't think of one thing.
Yeah, no. It's just, you know, when I'm not having a cigar, I'm reading. When I'm not reading, I spend a lot of time with my family. I'm like family first, you know. And yeah, it's just all about that. I think I live like a simple life. Just do the things that I love. That's all.
That seems like the common theme. People who smoke cigars, they just do those things that they love. They don't live by anyone else's standards. It's just like, you want to smoke a cigar when you want, and you'll do the other things that you want. That's the common theme we've been getting when we have more and more guests on here. It's just like, I just want to do what I want when I want. So,
right.
And we find that when we ask, you know, what are some of your other hobbies besides cigars and bourbon, or cigars, and they go, well, that is my hobby. I smoke cigars. Like, that's what I smoke cigars. I go to the gym and I work. rinse and repeat. That's so.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I work out every morning, but I hate it. I just do it because I know I should do it, but I don't like working out. That's why I never
Welcome
ever
to the
share
club.
like.
I think that's
Nobody,
everybody.
whoever tells you that they love working out is lying.
I mean,
'Cause nobody
actually,
loves putting their body through that. They just do it because they know they have to.
No, it's just funny because I have friends that they love it. They really like feel like they have to go and they're so passionate. I'm like, okay, I don't even share that on social media because I don't know. It's just like something that I do because I know I should do it. It's good for my health, but it's nothing that, okay, I'll go crazy like every day, 6 a.m. working out. No, I don't take it that serious, you know, but it's just something else
I know
that
what
I
people
do.
say is like, they love it, but I think it's more they love the result that it gives them. They
Right.
love the outcome of it, right? They love how they feel after they work out. Because nobody loves, I don't think anybody loves just being completely out of breath, completely winded, gasping
And then
for air.
sore.
And then sore the next day. No, but they love the result of the fact, whether it be therapy and they love having a clear mind, whether it be health, they love being in good physical condition. Everybody loves the result that it gives them. At least that's the way I think.
I think it's like now it's gonna be hashtag no pain, no gain. So
Hashtag no pain, no gain. I love it. I love that you're picking
I
up.
love it.
Love it.
She's picking up what we're putting down. I like
Exactly.
it.
Love it. Well, let me tell you that. You talked about a little about meditation. I just picked up doing yoga like this week. Do you do any kind of yoga?
Well, I used to do it. I haven't done it in a few years, so I'm not gonna lie about that.
Because that reminds me of like feeling good after it. Like I don't want to wake up and be like, but after I'm like,
right, no.
It's great. I can take on the rest of the day. This is phenomenal.
Good for you. That's awesome. But I realized why I should do yoga if it just is my meditation. So, you know, I smoke like
cigars. Just put it that way.
So you gave up yoga and picked up cigars. I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, there's no argument there. I mean, if you're a cigar smoker, people can agree with that. But
yeah. So I do like my morning cigar after lunch, before bed. So I don't think I really need yoga.
Yeah. You smoke cigars every day?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
so what's your favorite time of day? And I think you had posted this. And
morning.
For all those that didn't read your post, morning. Okay.
Morning. Actually, I was doing like before bed for a long time. Like, wow. I was doing maybe for 3 years in a row, cigar before bed. That was like mandatory. And then, I don't know, I started in the morning more like, because in the morning I was doing like 3 times a week. And then I started like every morning after breakfast. I'm like, wow, this is better. So yeah, I prefer in the morning.
Yeah, there's something about a good cigar with a nice cup of coffee. I mean, it's just.
I mean, I remember there was one time when Eric, or tea. So I remember a time when Eric, his family's got a house. He's got a house upstate, and he invited all of us to a bunch of guys who went up there, and we had a good time, little guys trip. And I remember one morning I was the first one awake, and I wound up waking up early. Body just woke up. It was like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to go down to bed. So I woke up and I went out, and he's got a little pond, a little dock. And I remember I woke up, made myself a cup of coffee, and walked out there, had a cup of coffee, had a cigar, and had a book. And there was all I heard was the birds chirping, the frogs burping, or whatever the heck frogs do, ribbiting. And I'm just sitting there, and it was so relaxing. There was not a sound, there was not a soul in sight. It was just me, the book, my coffee, cigar. It was surreal. It really was.
Wow.
It's very it's a good getaway. It's upstate New York, and it's in the middle of the country. There's no cell phone service. We don't have any TV. It's just a house. We have internet, and just in the middle of the forest, but it's just very peaceful. You can just wake up and just enjoy the noises of nature, and not have to worry about cars honking, people yelling at you, this, that, and the third. So it's peaceful.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I think it's just when like the morning cigar is kind of like make you okay, I'm ready to start the day. You know, this is me time. now I'm ready to do this. I got this, you know.
Ready to attack the day. I like it.
Your form of yoga.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we're running out a little bit of time on this Zoom. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little break.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to down this, going to refill it. We're going to come
Okay.
back in a short while, and we're going to ask you the final questions.
Okay.
No, so we just, we're having a great conversation with you. We just wanted to continue to go a little bit. We have a few more minutes, but we wanted to ask you, just some random fun questions that we like to ask. So one that I wanted to ask was, and this came up, I was watching something and somebody had asked this to somebody. I thought it was a pretty fun question. So if somebody were to make a movie about your life, who would you want to play you?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe I will say like Angelina Jolie. I think she's a badass. I mean, it's just in general, her attitude. I think she's a positive person and she's doing a lot for people in need. So I love her. I'm a big fan of her. So I will say her. It would be wow.
She is a badass. She is a badass.
Angelina Jolie. That's a unique response. I don't know if I've ever heard of somebody saying that would be the person that they wanted or that was their favorite actress.
Yeah.
That's a unique answer.
I mean, to kind of piggyback off that, are there any like female celebrities that smoke cigars that you enjoy, like, or look up to, or you like following, or anything like that? There's not too many, but there is a couple out there.
Like, who would you want to smoke a cigar with if you had a chance?
That's a better question. Who would you want to smoke a cigar with?
Whoa.
One person.
Alive?
No,
yeah,
it doesn't have to be.
Dead, alive. Can be your make-believe friend. It could be whoever.
Like, if you could smoke a cigar with anybody in history, who would it be?
Okay, Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
Wow, you made it.
Yes.
You made it in Justin's book.
Yes.
No, I'm a big fan, so it would be like, oh my God, I would literally die. I mean, he's dead, but I would die.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a first. I mean, we both love Sinatra.
Old blue eyes.
Justin a little bit more than me, but we're huge Sinatra fans. I mean, he's from New York, New Jersey, so.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I don't have another person that I would be like, oh my God, I would.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's up there on my list, and it's funny because people had asked me that, and sometimes I forget, but as soon as you say that's up on my list, that's gotta be.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
There's a good couple like cigar smoke, like when you're putting up a picture of a smoking cigar. There's some good Frank Sinatra quotes that you can put that I've copied in the past. But what else? So are you born and raised from Miami?
No, I was born in Havana. I was born in Cuba.
Wow, you were. Okay.
Yeah.
So before I ask you the question, or how should I place this? So would you rather say Havana, Cuba, or Miami? I'll ask you that.
I've been more time in Miami, but it's just actually the first question you guys ask about females in this, cigar world. It's just in Cuba, like I would say 60% of the population smokes cigar. And there are no, women and men. It's just like, that's why I don't see like a big deal,
No,
I see like, okay, my grandmother used to smoke cigar, my aunt smoked cigar. So I don't see like, oh, this is a man things, So
that's
yeah,
exactly
I mean, I would, I usually say like, I'm from Miami. I was born in Cuba, but it doesn't matter. I've been here more time, and Miami's kind of Cuba in a way.
We'll go with Havana, Cuba. It'll be, so, I mean, if someone who doesn't know Havana, Cuba, right, which is probably not probable, but if you had to explain to somebody what Havana, Cuba is, what would you say to the person?
Wow. It's just, I think people, Cubans, they're so friendly, and it's like they have sugar in their blood. You know, they're always hyper, they're always dancing and singing. It's just the energy is incredible. So every person I have met that have been to Cuba, they always say like, oh my God, I love Cubans. I'm like, why? It's just they're so happy all the time, and they don't have anything. They're like struggling. They don't have food. They don't have basic stuff. We don't have to go into details.
Yeah.
So they're happy all the time. Actually, I think they put a video yesterday in the news. It's a bunch of cases of corona, and they were with the mask, like 10 people dancing, and they were having a party, like the neighbors. And my mom was watching the news, and she was like, "Ah, they have to be Cubans, you know? They don't even worry. I mean, they have the mask where they're dancing and they're singing and they're having a good time." So yeah, I think, you know, Cuba is just friendly and happy people. So yeah, I would say that.
That's good. I mean, we could definitely use some more Cuban influence in the States over here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We all know you're all about positivity, so we could use more Cubans in the States for all that good positivity.
Inspire others.
Yes. Inspired to inspire.
Inspire others.
That's right.
Anything else? I mean, what else we got? Oh, this is what I thought of also. I always enjoy answering all your questions on your cigar story. And I know we've talked a few times about the Ultimate Cigar book, and I felt like I can create so many questions from that book. But
right.
Where do you come from? Where do you get all the ideas for the questions? You know, I don't know if you do it every week or every other day or so, but you have good questions that make me think like, I don't know what that is.
It's just, I started like a few months ago because I was doing it before, I think last year, but I was doing like once a month. So now I'm doing every Monday. It's like test your knowledge.
Yeah.
So it's just, like I say, I like to read a lot. So I do a lot of research when like rappers like Sumatra, and I like to find, it's just, for me, it's not about the flavor profile, it's about the history behind how long it's been aged, who, the tobacco came from who, is Ecuadorian from which plantation. Like, I like to get into details. I'm more behind the story. So I always trying to find information about different brands, different blends. And when I read something, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't notice. People need to notice. So that's why I came on, like, why I don't start sharing. And the funny part is just a lot of people in the cigar industry get a few questions wrong. And it's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm learning every day. I don't know anything, I always say, I don't know anything it's just enjoy. This is, for me, it's not a hobby. This is part of my life, So I always like to share every detail, like, oh my God, I didn't know, I don't know. I don't have any questions right now, but something that I read is like, wow, I need to share this. So that's why I came out with just 5 questions every Monday morning.
It's good. I mean, I'm one of those guys that gets it wrong too. So, I mean, sometimes I get them all right. I'm like, yes, I know. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I hope she doesn't see that because that's kind of embarrassing. I didn't get it right. But
no.
No, I like it because I do the same thing. I'll like look through them and I'll say like, oh, I know that one. Oh, I know that one. Then there's one that comes up. I'm like, I don't know it. And then I'll just guess and I get it right. I'm like, oh, yeah, there we go. Then I get it wrong. I'm like, oh, damn it.
But I feel like I'm being tested. It's just about having a good time. I get a lot of messages like, oh my God, I can't believe I got it wrong. I thought I knew that. I'm like, listen, it's just we're learning every day. So this is just a fun way to test your knowledge. If this is your passion, you smoke every day, I think people should have a little bit of knowledge. You don't have to be a nerd. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm a tobacconist, I'm a cigar sommelier. It's not about that. It's just you need to have an idea, It's just if you do this every day and you don't even know where it came from, it's what are you doing,
No, and I think that's another, what would you call it? Another characteristic.
Hashtag.
Another hashtag.
Another hashtag. Everything can
be hashtag dropping knowledge.
Hashtag everything. Everything can be hashtag. We all know that, but it's a similar characteristic. If people who smoke cigars, it's the people that say, I know everything about cigars. It's like, well, even the most experienced cigar people who've been in the industry for 50 years, X, Y, and Z, they always say, I'm constantly learning. I saw a thing with Carlito Fuente yesterday. He goes, I'm always learning. I've been doing it for X years, and I still don't know everything. And it's like, I never will know everything. So
yeah, it's no way.
I mean, when I first started with cigars, I thought Justin knew everything, and then once I really started getting involved with them, I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot to know about cigars. I don't know where to start with this.
Yeah, it's really that's one of the things that intrigue us about this community and about cigars in general is the fact that it's ever changing. And that I've always said this to people is that you can take the same cigar and the same blend, same leaves, but year after year, it's going to change. The leaves aren't grown in the same exact conditions every year. And a leaf that might taste one way in 10 years from now, it might have a totally different flavor profile. And now you have to relearn how that leaf is going to interact with the leaves. It's a unique industry like that.
Yeah, it's just the beauty of having something handmade. There's no way that you can duplicate it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the beauty. And besides that, it's just like, when I say it's all about preference, no right or wrong, it's just, you can have this cigar right now and it could taste completely different. You can taste a completely different profile. So it's so many details, like, you know, your palate. Some people, if you don't develop, you don't smoke, like you don't try, only people that smoke Cuban, going back to that, you know, your palate is so used to that. So when you have a Nicaraguan or Dominican, you don't even know what's going on. You're like, okay, this is overwhelming. What's going on here? So it's the same with bourbon, the same with scotch. It takes time. It really takes time to develop. It takes, you know, you really have to like put your everything on, like, okay, what am I doing here? You know, and every time you smoke a cigar, even if you buy a box of 20, you're going to have a completely different experience, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have, I think, one or two more questions, but off topic cigars. Oh, what happened?
Okay.
Oh, I don't know what
No,
happened.
you're good. You're there.
So I went to Miami. I don't know, my screen went away. I went to Miami with my girlfriend like 2 years ago, and I want to know your thought on this restaurant, Barton G. Have you ever been there in Miami? Barton?
Yes. Wow, that was a way back, but I've been there before, yeah.
We ordered this meal, and they're known for like their extravagant meals, and we ordered steak and asparagus and baked macaroni, and it came out like on a lawnmower. So, and I thought it was like the most extravagant. I'm like, wow, look at this thing. So, do you like Barton G? Is that like the spot to go when you go down Miami for a restaurant?
Oh no, I mean, it is famous, but it's not like the place to go. It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just presentation is beautiful. I would say that is, I mean, like if you want to take, you know, like celebrate like a birthday, Valentine's, something special. So I would say, okay, go there. It's just presentation wise and dessert are amazing. But yeah, it's just Miami. Something fun about Miami's restaurant. It's like, I think it came out in the top 5 best. They have the best restaurant, best city. Like it's Miami. I think it's number 3. So yeah, they have everything. You know, it's just here you have a blend. You know.
I know me and Justin and I would fit right in if we go to Miami. I mean, just being present in Miami, you just hear Spanish music playing in the streets, and you just want to grab a cigar and you can be like dancing in the street. It's like,
oh yeah.
It's like in New York. There's only one kind of New York, and there's only one kind of Miami, and it's just a great feel. Have you been there? Have you been to
Yeah,
Miami?
Little Havana will be. Excuse me?
I have never been to Miami.
Oh my God.
Gotta go now.
I have
no
never.
way.
It's
wow.
it's a fun city for sure.
Yeah, you have. I mean, Miami's just fun. It's just like, it is just the people, and even if you go to Little Havana, they have like more than 7 cigar shops in one block. Like 7 cigar shop, and they have light music everywhere, and they're playing dominoes. It's just the energy, you know. It is fun. It's always fun. Miami, it could be overwhelming, but it is a fun city.
I mean, we're from New York, so there's really nothing that can be more overwhelming than Manhattan. So
Exactly.
I agree. That's true.
You got anything else in the pipeline, Justin? Ask.
I don't. I mean, I think that I've enjoyed the conversation. We appreciate you taking the time. I know that it's your mother's birthday and you're going out for dinner, you're going to grab her food. So we appreciate you taking the time to join us here on the Burn Down. Why don't we send this off, tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram, tell them where they can find you if they want to slide in your DMs, or why don't you tell people where they can find you?
It will be Cigar Lover 12. I mean, it's the whole point is I want to say thank you so much, guys. It's been like super fun. I appreciate having me. This is like, wow. And I really admire what you guys are doing. It's just you guys are so humble, and at the same time, you're passionate about it. So that's why I say yes, because I'm really like, you know, for me, I don't really like I don't do a lot of live. I don't do a lot of videos with anyone. But you guys are special, and I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
And it's just keep doing what you guys are doing. I will support you all the way. Okay.
You are the
so
best.
Thank you so much for having me, and hopefully we'll be a next time.
Oh well,
absolutely.
And correct me if I say this wrong, but we'll say Feliz cumpleaños tu madre.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. Feliz cumpleaños.
Yes.
You got it.
5 years of Spanish pays off.
Woo!
I love it.
I love
it.
I remember muy poquito.
You got it. Un poquito.
Well, with that being said, thank you everybody for watching this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again, Ibis, for joining us. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Follow Ibis on her Instagram at CigarLover12. Until next time, God bless.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ibis. You were the best. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye. Cheers.